All right, what's going on, you guys? Brian back here with a quick recap of what happened on tonight's episode of NXT. I have not watched Dynamite. I'll probably watch it tomorrow um, to see what happened there. But before I begin, some sad news to report. As Jim Crockett Jr., who was the and was the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, who also, along with his father, Jim Crockett Sr., were owners of Jim Crockett Promotions, sadly has passed away. Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express announced the passing in a tweet that he sent out of a photo of him and Jim Crockett Jr. together, with the caption, "Rest in peace, Jimmy." So my condolences go out to the Crockett family, as well as friends of Jim Crockett Jr., who passed away. I believe it was the age of 76, I believe it was. I know that there had been news about him, that he was in grave condition at a hospital, and then was in hospice care. So my condolences go out to his family and friends. Getting into NXT tonight, we had a bit of a change to the NXT Tag Team title match. It was going to be MSK, who had won the Men's Dusty Classic at TakeOver Vengeance Day. Wes Lee and Nash Carter, I believe, was the MSK. However, due to injury, they were not able to compete against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, the current tag team champions. However, Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher stepped up to take that opportunity, and they wound up getting beat by Lorcan and Burch because Imperium appeared on the stage. And after the loss, in a little bit later on in the show, during a backstage interview, Thatcher mentioned some kind of history that he has with Imperium. So that is pretty much why him and Tommaso Ciampa lost. So that was pretty much it for that. We had a promo by Roderick Strong in ring, where he called out Adam Cole because of what happened last week with Adam Cole turning on Roderick Strong. That promo would be interrupted by NXT champion Finn Balor, who has had his issues with Adam Cole. And he basically told Roddy, get in line, because if anybody's going to get to Adam Cole, it's going to be him. And he issued a challenge to Adam Cole for next week with the NXT Championship on the line, and that match has been made official. Next week, it will be Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against Adam Cole on NXT. In the main event of tonight's episode, however, Finn Balor would have to worry about Roderick Strong, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Throughout this episode of NXT, The Way were in therapy, trying to get Austin Theory some help dealing with the ordeal he went through with Dexter Lumis. It would basically end with it all being a ploy by Johnny Gargano, who, at the end of the last segment of this whole series, paid off the therapist because the therapist had told Austin Theory that she had talked to Dexter Lumis, and he was saying all these negative things about Austin Theory that made Austin Theory cry. And then Gargano, when he was like, he told Theory he's going to give the therapist a piece of his mind, and wound up saying, "Oh, that's great. That was great. That was here's the money. Here's some money, you know." So that was pretty much it for that. We also had a Cameron Grimes, William Regal backstage segment where Regal revealed to Cameron Grimes that he's going to be in a match against Bronson Reed later on in the show. We had Ember Moon defeating Aaliyah of the Robert Stone brand. We had a bit of a highlight video for next week's NXT Women's Championship match between Io Shirai and Toni Storm. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Due to some controversy, successfully defended their women's tag team championships against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And I say there was controversy because near the end of the match, Shayna Baszler locked in the Kirifuda clutch on Dakota Kai. Kai made the tag. Gonzalez came in. She broke up the Kirifuda clutch. She went after Nia Jax. However, when she went after Nia Jax with a big boot, the referee got knocked down. And then they wound up going on the outside of the ring, battling. They wound up, Jax and Gonzalez ended up going over the announce table. Here comes WWE official Adam Pearce telling another referee to come down to the ring. Baszler locked in the Kirifuda clutch on Kai, and the referee called for the bell, and Baszler and Jax retained the women's tag team titles, even though Dakota Kai was not the legal woman in the ring, or the legal participant in the ring. So a lot of controversy there. Then a little bit later on in the show, General Manager William Regal, after having a heated discussion with Adam Pearce, basically announced that next week he's going to make a major announcement that's going to change the landscape of NXT. Whatever that will be, we'll have to wait and see next week. We also had a promo from Isaiah Swerve Scott. We heard from LA Knight. We had Cameron Grimes defeating Bronson Reed with the help of LA Knight. We had a Kayden Carter interview talking about her tag team partner Kacy Catanzaro, who's going to be out with a torn PCL injury. She also challenged Xia Li to a match for next week, and that has been made official. Xia Li taking on Kayden Carter. We had what was supposed to be a tag team match between Ever Rise and Breezango. Would not even happen because Legado del Fantasma, upset because of what happened last week when they got destroyed by Karrion Kross, when they got beat up by Karrion Kross in that no disqualification match between Kross and Santos Escobar. They basically attacked Breezango and Ever Rise. And then in the main event, Finn Balor defeated Roderick Strong and then would stand in the ring. He would see Adam Cole on the stage, and they would have a stare down, and that was pretty much it for NXT. So pretty much that about wraps it up for what happened on tonight's episode of NXT. Pretty good show. Cannot wait to see what happens next week with the 2 championship matches. And like I said, I'm probably going to watch Dynamite tomorrow and then give my thoughts on the show. So with that in mind, this has been my NXT recap. As always, I am Brian, and I will see you next time.